Hey, what's up? Yo, it's your boy Tay Biz, 1/3 of the MALEROOM Show. You got JB the Gent, you got Rollo. Check this out. Normally we go live every Sunday at 5:30 on our YouTube channel, the MALEROOM Network, but we have extended the MALEROOM Show to Spotify and iHeartRadio. That's right. So you got the MALEROOM Show podcast. We got new episodes every week. Check it out while you're working out. Check it out while you're doing your yoga, whatever you got going on. But if you wanted some good content, want to hear some good dialogue, something funny too a little bit, go ahead and hit up the MALEROOM Show podcast right here on Spotify and iHeartRadio. Let me get back to this clip because I got to do some more work.
I move heavy, need a scale. I for success like it's Braille. Brain on Ivy, coulda went to Yale. If you make it rain, I make it hell. Cliche quotes never fail. Focus in the wrong, always yells. If you put in work, you prevail. Only quote I need is keep it real. Clothes all black, cars all black. Game on tap, game intact. First I scrap, then I stack. Only thing changes the location on the map. Clothes all black, cars all black. Game on tap, game intact. First I scrap, then I stack. Only thing changes the location on the map. Watches plain and Lester's factory. Bought a Tesla, need no gasoline. She likes when we go on shopping sprees. Go from Nike straight to Louis V. Money, power, I've been in between. I've been spending money like it's free. Kick it low, I'm rarely on the scene. Kick it low, the next Bruce Lee. GMT, it cost me 17. I've been on the go since 17. You know how it goes. Yada yada, you know what I mean. Clothes all black, cars all black. Game on tap, game intact. First I scrap, then I stack. Only thing changes the location on the map. Clothes all black, cars all black. Game on tap, game intact. First I scrap, then I stack. Only thing changes the location on the map. I can switch locations on the map. Toss a dart and we go where it's at. Calculate the numbers, see the stats. Win, run it back. No back in the booth for 40 love. Rafa on the clay, I can't be touched. With my fam, I made it out the mud. Pressure made a diamond in the rough. That's why I grind. All life I shine. Clothes all black, cars all black. Game on tap, game intact. First I scrap, then I stack. Only thing changes the location on the map. Clothes all black, cars all black. Game on tap, game intact. First I scrap, then I stack. Only thing changes the location on the map.
First topic of the evening. How often do our emotions cause us to contradict ourselves? How often do our emotions cause us to contradict ourselves? If they cause us to contradict it, if they cause us to contradict ourselves, does it happen extremely often? Are we aware of it? The things we say, the things we do. I think that the scary thing about emotions and how we can get into the contradictory aspect of it is when, we really falsify what we express. What we express in comparison to how we feel does not match up at all. A lot of times it comes with what I've experienced, and I experienced this recently, when what you feel comes out in what you say, and somebody completely sees it and they catch it and they kind of catch you not really they kind of catch you not really they kind of catch you not really owning up or being real to yourself. You know what I mean? It all comes down to being real with yourself. You know, in particular, I had a situation recently with a friend of mine. We hung out a couple years ago. You know, in my mind, I know that it's just what it is. We just hanging out, we kicking it, we having fun. We didn't really go out a lot of times. We knew each other for a long time. We just kind of reconnected and we just hung out. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Most sometimes it was at her house or my house. We didn't really go out a lot. We just kind of kicked it. You know what I'm saying? Drank, chill. Um, it got, I talked to that person, that young lady recently, and in the flow of the conversation, she just kind of mentioned that I wanted her, and okay, so I was like, this is new to me. You know what I mean? But in the midst of us hanging out, I kind of felt that she was hinting at little stuff about maybe wanting it to be more serious than what it was, but I didn't speak on it. And my brothers know me well, at least in the last couple of years. If I'm going to let you know how I feel. I'm going to let you know what I want. I'm going to let you know what I expect. And for the most part, I'm going to let it go. So she kind of let me know that's how she felt. And so I actually told her while we talked. Honestly, I was just kind of enjoying the moment. I was enjoying the vibe. Everything was cool. There was obviously a physical attraction, and that's what I thought. That's where we were at. You know what I mean? But she convinced herself that I wanted more. So in the midst of me telling her that, I thought I explained it pretty. I thought I was pretty cordial with. I thought I was respectful. In the midst of the conversation, she tells me to humble myself and watch what I say, which confused me because you already were having these thoughts about what you felt about me and what I wanted. I didn't tell you that. I know I didn't express it, but you convinced yourself that's what I wanted. And then I respectfully tell you that's not what I wanted, but then I have to humble myself. So it's just and like it was just like it was confusing. I felt like she was talking in circles, but she gathered up enough of her feelings, which were probably the feelings she had for me. I mean, let's call it spade a spade, and
Mhm.
convinced herself that I wanted her. Explained it very, elegantly, I believe, while we were talking, and then when I expressed it, I guess how I said it wasn't what she wanted to hear, or she was too caught up in how she was feeling, and then said I needed to humble myself, which
Mm.
was something I did not understand at all.
Single blame.
But I think it was just
Your name?
she was she just play it again, bro.
I'm sorry. No, go ahead.
But I think she was just caught up. I think she was just caught up in everything she was conjuring up in her head about about the status of our relationship. Which in my opinion, we were just spending some time together. It was two friends just hanging out. It was just two friends just hanging out, catching up, and we spent a little bit of time. And I never expressed no feelings. I never expressed anything that I wanted more. I never asked. Sean asked me, "Did she tell you?" No, never said anything. But that whole little time that we were spending, I guess she thought I did.
She
And
told you how she told you how you felt about her though,
yeah,
but she
and
didn't
I
tell
was,
you how she felt about you.
you know what I'm saying? And then I need to humble myself.
Open your eye. Yeah, that was crazy.
So you got to be careful. You got to be careful the things you conjure up, and then be careful on acting on it because the person that knows how they feel or the person that is understanding of the relationship, they're gonna look at you crazy. They're gonna, you're gonna come off as crazy because how are you gonna act towards somebody or how are you gonna tell somebody how they feel when they already know how they feel?
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And then another thing that can happen is they try to make it seem like you're the one that's not being real.
Mhm. Trying to flip it
You know,
around.
right? I'm the type of person I'm going to tell you, and I had to learn this. But instead of being in my head and thinking, what can I get out of this, or am I putting myself in the right position with this person based on how I feel? Is this going to end bad? I'll just get out of my head, get out of my feelings. Not saying I'm not worried about how you're going to feel, but I'm going to be true to myself so I can. So the best result is gonna surface. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm not. I know a lot of people don't like bad news. Maybe she took it as bad news, but she worked up this whole situation in her head about how I felt about her. And like
Mm-hmm.
Sean just asked me, she never told me. We never talked about none of it. We were literally just hanging out and kicking it. There was nothing got physical, actually. You know what I mean? Not to the extent of having sex or anything like that, but it got, we were just hanging out. But out of all of that, you conjured that up, and then I guess the fact that I let you know, you couldn't handle it. So, but I need to humble myself. So it was kind of weird.
Wow.
It was kind of weird.
I think Sean had another question, but I think I don't know if that was the complete question.
Yeah.
I would finish texting or whatever, I guess. But I'll just go real quick. Just to answer the question, I think the contradictions happen. I think contradictions happen often with emotions. Because of the fact that there can be a misinterpretation or a misunderstanding of something, which causes the emotion. Sometimes an example, like sometimes something can happen, and a person interprets it a certain way, and that's the emotion that they commit to. And since they're committed to that emotion, and even though you did not relay it that way, they're committed to it. So it causes an inconsistency with the decision making, with the moving forward part of the interaction, because there's so much inconsistency, and that's the contradicting part. It's like every time I'm clear about something, you interpret it a certain way, instead of you receiving what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like I'm telling you something and you're trying to make it be something else. You're trying to decode something that's that's already been decoded and very clear. So because you heard something else, you gathered an emotion of what you heard in your head instead of what the person is saying. So now a person cannot feel comfortable talking to you because you don't know how to handle the process of the emotional part of anything when I'm telling you something that's very clear.
She told me,
so now we have to have a different type of conversation, because you're now having an emotional inconsistency. Every time we have a discussion or a conversation, then you grab an emotion that's not even warranted to the actual issue at hand. And so I think that's where a little bit of a contradiction can come, or that's how it's kind of caused. And it can happen very often if the person does not have the wherewithal to interpret things correctly. There is a such thing as a misinterpretation. And just, if I misinterpret something and someone gives me clarity, I have to be like, okay, I'm sorry about that. My bad. I took that the wrong way.
Yeah.
That's where the maturity come into play, and be like, you know what? I took that the wrong way. I'm gonna be accountable for that. That's my bad. You know what I'm saying? I was thinking something else. Thank you for clarifying that. That's all it takes, really.
That's all it takes. Because even when I clarify myself or how I feel, I say honestly, I was just enjoying the vibe. You know what I'm saying? I was glad we was able to kick it. She went on later to say she was the best thing I had at the time. And I'm like, okay, what is happening right now? What is happening right now? And I had to reiterate it again. But yeah, and you just said it makes it difficult to communicate with that person. After that, I would choose just maybe not to communicate with you at all. I mean, because obviously you're not. It'll be difficult to have any type of conversation with you based off anything if you're that much in your head to where you're going to continue just to be on the other side of the actual thought and the actual situation. You're just going to keep circling around it. You know what I mean? So
yeah. I think Sean here, she said I was trying to say, what did you say to her when she was telling you how you was feeling?
Yeah, I told her that's not where my head was. I told her honestly, I was just enjoying the vibe. I told her I was the type of person, if I wanted something more, then I'm the type of person to tell you that. So I thought when I said that was going to let her know that, okay, you were wrong about it. and let's move on. But then she went further and said I wasn't humble. So I just started joking.
Got you on that.
We can definitely contradict ourselves when we get into an emotional state. And what's dangerous about the situation I was just in, when you don't, you obviously she wasn't recognizing how she appeared and what it could come off to somebody who was logical in the situation. So
yeah,
you live and you learn, man. You live and you learn. How you feel about it, Jay?
You're on mute, by the way.
Yeah, appreciate it. I agree. I do think emotions can cause us to contradict ourselves. What I was when we use words, you want to make sure, especially me, I want to make sure I'm actually saying what I mean. So if we're talking about contradicting, I had to think like, okay, I know what that means. I just want to make sure I did. So if we're talking about contradicting, and I just looked it up real quick, and it says to deny the truth. Now, if we're talking about emotions, that's off the bat. Emotions will get you to deny the truth. You know what I'm saying? Especially if it attacked you and got you vulnerable emotionally. You know what I mean? You will deny the truth of the matter. You know what I'm saying? Like, because it could hurt. Like, we hear truth hurts, right? So
that's what they tell us.
But that's what they tell us, and I don't. And and again, I think that's plausible because I don't believe truth hurts because that's attaching emotion to fact, and so I don't think truth hurts. I think truth is just not respective of a person. It's just what it is. It's black and white. So we attach ourselves to information, and so it makes us have a certain feeling about it. And that's how we have opinions that go that direction. So yeah, when we say, if we talk about contradicting, and contradiction is the first part of the definition to deny the truth. Yeah, we're talking about emotion. Emotion will get you to deny the truth. Now the rest of it is to deny the truth and insert the opposite. Assert the opposite. You know what I'm saying? To forcefully show the total opposite. You know what I'm saying? Like, like you could, somebody was diagnosing person B and they would say, you have selfish traits. And then person B was like, no, I don't. You just don't know how to treat me. You know what I'm saying? Like, and assert the opposite. You know what I'm saying? Like, to deny the truth. Because that might have been true. Don't know the person. Just talking about it as a scenario. And then assert the opposite. Yeah, your emotions can do that. You know what I'm saying? Especially in if we're talking about, men and women relationships and the way we communicate, and you know what I'm saying? If we're talking about truth of the matter, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people, again, don't want to deal with truth. They want to deal with opinions, and, you know what I'm saying, and attach feelings to fact. So that's all, that's just opinion. They don't want to hear the truth about the matter. They want to hear what makes them feel. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, since we deal with that a lot and communication sucks, you know what I'm saying, nowadays, and so we're attacking that in relationships. So people, can be quick to contradict truth about anything. Like, so I agree with that. Now, what makes it tricky is that if you deny the truth to assert the opposite, to force a narrative, now you're narcissistic.
No.
You see what I'm saying? You see how quick that can twist? You know what I'm saying? Now that I'm conscious of what I'm doing. You see what I'm saying? I know exactly what I'm doing. I might be emotionally attached to it. And so I'm like, no, that's not the truth. It's not the truth because you don't understand what you're talking about. You don't know. Now I'm just wavelengthing it out to other people. You know what I'm saying? Causing everybody else to deny the truth too. See, that's a form of narcissism. Yeah. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's tricky. And it can go that far in levels of contradiction truth. And if we're just talking about men and women, it can go that far and we'll just totally ignore that. You know what I'm saying? And it'll be actually signs and symptoms of those things. And we just don't, like she actually thought she was speaking truth to you, bro. She actually thought that, like, you know what I'm saying? Because she was riding on emotion, and she actually thought she was speaking truth. You was like, nah, that's not how it is, baby girl.
That's not it.
You know what I mean? If that's the scenario, and if, you know what I'm saying, if that was the case, if he was falsifying the truth like that, and you were giving her the fact, then she was actually believing it. You know what I'm saying? Now if she believe it and wants to make you believe it, that's wild. You need to really think about who you're dating after that.
Yeah.
So that's my point, though.
Yeah, it makes you want to change your whole way of interacting with people sometimes. You know what I mean? Because I don't want anybody I'm dating to think more than what it is. You know what I mean? I don't want anybody to get an image of me that is not factual. You know what I mean? But that doesn't mean I'm not going to be myself. That doesn't mean I'm not going to express what I need to express when I feel it necessary. And like I said, it took me a while to get to this point, but now I'm at a point where I'm going to let you know everything I'm feeling, everything I'm expecting. If it gets to a certain point and I feel something needs to be expressed, something needs to be discussed, I will discuss it. I was not at that point with this woman. So everything that was as far as feelings and emotions, everything was on her end. You know what I mean? But that doesn't mean I'm not going to be a gentleman. That doesn't mean I'm not going to treat you with respect. You know what I mean? Maybe, you know, and I think sometimes we contradict ourselves when we face with situations we've never been faced with before. You know what I mean? Because we don't know how to respond to it. You know what I mean? If we find a potential candidate. We never seen a good person ever. Yeah, that's We'll be quick if I date a woman, yeah.
Go ahead, bro. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. If I date a woman that hasn't dated anybody like me before, and they're not used to the type of mannerisms, they're not used to the type of guy I am, they're not used to the type of gentleman I am, and it can get you caught up. I understand that. You know what I mean? But ask questions. Like Sean said, did she ask me? No. Ask questions. Figure it out. You know, we're definitely too old to be assuming anything when we're involved with people. You know what I mean? Unless that is made clear on both ends. You know what I'm saying? So it's now watch. Like Jay said, communication sucks nowadays sometimes. So you got to figure out a way to make it as clear as possible.
I got one more point, Tay, if you don't mind.
No,
I you know, it's tricky. This can go any different angles too. Because we can put that situation on people and quickly we'll go through that scenario indicating that about somebody else, when sometimes we'll be the one that be contradictory. And I'm gonna explain that. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes this can happen. Like, if you're putting a falsified image of yourself out, if you're putting a falsified image of yourself out, and then somebody actually ties to that, and then you might get the wrong, you know what I'm saying? Which might be the wrong thing. You might be careful. Right. That might be the wrong thing. You might put out, you'll deny that or whatever. And then that person will start accusing the other person of having that output if they didn't want, but you were coming in with the false narrative off the top.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes we think we are the people that we are, and we're not. You know what I'm saying? We know good and hell well that we need stuff fixed, we need stuff changed, we need stuff or whatever, and not really putting out the best part of ourselves. It relates to whoever this relates to. I'm not singling nobody out. I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have been here before. This is the reason why I'm saying that. I have developed a character that I thought that I was benefiting from. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, as a, you know what I'm saying, this jive playboy character that I thought I had, and I was insinuating that on women, and they were liking that character, but I was never this guy. This is a created character in my head that I gave to other people. And you know what I'm saying? I'm contradicting myself, but I'm giving this out, and people are like, "Oh, they like that." You know what I'm saying? And they probably want a long lasting relationship, and thinking I'm, because of the way I'm maneuvering, they think I want it too. And I'm just playing this role, you know what I'm saying? Or I'm selling something that's not really the truth. You know what I mean? Like sometimes we do that. And then we get mad at the results, but we think like it started with you from the beginning. You know what I'm saying? And if you really think about it, you know what I'm saying, usually this happens in, when you find somebody with potential and you just came out of something that left you a little damaged and vulnerable. You know what I'm saying? Now you're a different phase of you, and then that person's like, okay, I like the core of you or whatever, and you don't get the results that you thought you would want. You know what I'm saying? And you like, see, not everybody tripping, and you be like, nah, you tripping. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And then your friends around you be like, hey man, you ever considered, you know what I mean, that type of thing. I've done that before, and I've noticed the fact that I wanted to blame A, B, C, and D, but it really started with the common denominator, which is me. You got to think of, you know what I'm saying? You can do that. You know what I'm saying? And think that somebody else is contradicting you, and you're the one that's being contradicted yourself. So it's just a thought. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's a very, very good point, because you're appearing to be something that you're not. That's called misleading someone. And so, again, this is why, like, if you are just trying to, I'm just about to be real. If you're just trying to smash, act like it.
Yep.
That's it.
Don't
give a woman flowers. Don't give a woman flowers. Check her out on an expensive date. Don't do none of that if you're just trying to smash. Act like you're trying to just smash, so she will know that.
Say that,
ma'am.
Say
ladies,
that. Yeah.
If you just want a money buddy, act like it. Don't act like you want him to be your man. Don't act like you want him to take you out. Don't go out on a date with him.
Care.
Real. If you just want a money buddy, and the Detroit Lions is going to the NFC Championship, I never thought I'd ever experience this in my life.
That's what's up, baby.
Like then act like it. I'm sorry. We from the Detroit got to represent right now for a second, man.
We got it.
We on our way, baby.
We're on our way to the
NFC, baby.
That's crazy. So I mean, just act like it. Like, stop acting like you want something more than what you want. Like, I'm not. Like, stop acting like you're looking for this relationship, or this is why. This is why. Again, we talking about contradiction and emotions. This is why this go with the flow thing has to have some legs on it. You got to structure you have to still structure your fun.
I like that. Yeah. I like
you see, you have to. Anybody who knows me knows that I have a lot of cigars. Okay, I'm a cigar guy, right? I have a humidor. I give cigars away. I'm a cigar dude, right? And even in my fun, I structure that. I study it. I make sure that what I'm putting into my body is not going to harm me, or if it does, it will do this, that. I mean, I am structuring even my fun. I'm not just willy-nilly doing whatever. I think that's the problem, is that people have this, oh, well, I'm just want to go with the flow. Let's see what happens. No, not if you know that you're just trying to smash. There is no go with the flow. You have one mission. That's all you got. That's all you got is one mission, man. And you know, and if you're giving a woman flowers and you're doing all this kind of stuff, and she thinking like you like her for real, like, oh, I just want to be, then. Like, it goes back to Jay's point. Now you're acting like you're looking for something, and you're not.
Can't do it.
You're not looking for anything. You know what I'm saying? I really care about her. How? You got a whole roster of women that you just trying to black out. Nigga. Like, what are you talking about? Like, stop playing with yourself at some point. And like what Jay is saying is a great point. You're presenting yourself to be something that you really don't want to be. So it makes the other person think like, oh, they really care about me. They really like me, or they really looking for something. And you're really not looking for anything. You know what I'm saying? So that's a tricky thing too. That's a very good point, that the contradiction could start from you. If you're not fully aware of where you're at and what you want and what you need to do, then it could also cause somebody to believe something that is untrue in the first place. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so
that's a lot of luggage in that bag too. It's a lot of luggage you keep putting. That's why, you know, when we first started with the contradict ourselves question, It's like, yeah, that's cool, but you start digging into it. It's like, oh, now maybe you might be the contradict person. And now, why do you become the contradict person? Why do you? How does it start with you? Like, how does that happen?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You have to unpack that too, because quick answer. Usually, when somebody, you know what I'm saying, is putting about a falsified image, you know what I'm saying, it's because they want to they want to show the best image there is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They don't want, because if we were just coming in with the door talking about we just want to smash, usually that's going to get rejected.
Exactly.
So you come in with the fact of it was this you know what I'm saying, this sway attitude, but with the mission of smashing. But what if they fall in love with the sway attitude? Right. Now you got this whole thing that you want to try to weed out all of a sudden. Like, well, I didn't really want that. You know what I'm saying? I just want it. I just want, you know what I'm saying? And now you made a whole bunch of spilled beans.
Right. And
yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Ain't nobody want to
have this. Now you got to have this I know I ain't shit conversation with this woman because all because you couldn't keep it a bean. Yeah. Now you got to tell her, like, yeah, I know. I mean, look, it's me. It ain't you. It's me. It's always you, dog.
It's always been.
It's always you, girl. Like you. It's always you. Like, why can't you just methodically do your thing without putting emotions in it? See, that's a hard thing to do. That's a hard thing to do in a culture that doesn't require you to have any type of commitment. So it's a hard thing to do. You know what I'm saying?
You said that about women too, dog. Yeah, you said that about women. You said that about women too. You said, you know, they might do that, you know, that profile, that best profile foot forward thing too. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people talking about being wise, but they just want to be taken care of.
I can handle this stuff. Yeah.
You just want to be taken care of. You don't want to be a wife. You don't really want all that. You don't. You just want to be taken care of. And since you can't walk in the door saying, well, now they do, but since you think you can't walk in the door and say that you don't want, you just want to be taken care of, and that's it. I don't want anything else of it, and try to get that. That don't look that as appealing as saying that you want a husband. You know what I'm saying? So you say that to get what you want. See, that's that. You know, women does the same thing. You know what I mean?
It's the back door.
So it's like you're the person that's being contradictory at the beginning.
It's all back door instead of front ended. Nothing is front ended. Everything is on the back end. Yeah. So it's like I'll deal with it once we get there. Then when you get there, you done let all this build up. Instead of nipping it in the bud early, like, no, this is not. You feel it. Yeah, you know what it is. So you're like, okay, this is not something that I want. I actually want this. This is it. I just want to, you know, be casual, do my thing. That's it. No commitment, nobody. I want somebody on the same type of time as me. You know, and if you want a relationship and you're looking for somebody that's gonna give you wine and dine you and all that kind of stuff and try to build a future with you, then I ain't the guy. I mean, you can literally make that speech and the woman be like, okay, I mean, you know, that's kind of messed up, but all right, you know, it is what it is. She's gonna have to take that L. If she wants you, that's the L she gotta take. But at least I know what's going on. So there won't be any contradiction from the beginning. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's a two-way street here. It's like, I'm giving you the honest part of me, so don't misinterpret that as something that you want. And then you telling me the honest part of you, and I can't misinterpret you and twist it to make it be something that I want and tell you what you think that you should be doing with me. You know you like me, girl. You know, she like, no, I don't. Charles, I don't like you for real. You know, and Charles just won't get it. You know what I'm saying? Right. And Lisa is the same way. You just keep telling Lisa, like, hey, I don't like your left eye, and she just won't agree with you. You know, she's committed to whatever fairy tale wedding presentation she got in her head, and she like, but he's gonna be mine. Like, he don't want to be yours. How many licks do it take to get to the center of this? Like, you gotta be kidding me. You know what I'm saying? Hold on, Sean got a question. No, we got the Q&A going on. So is it okay to revisit to see if it can turn into a relationship? No, that is a waste of time. What are you revisiting exactly? What are you revisiting exactly? Answer that question for me. This revisit to turn into a. Listen, cheese don't turn into bread. Crackers don't turn into meals. Nah.
You got it's the way you prepare everything that makes it what it is. If it starts off with just a casual companionship of just physical attraction, hanging out here and there, and there's no actual commitment, then that's what it is. You can't turn that into a relationship.
Nah.
So what are you? So answer that question for me. What are you revisiting exactly? Because your last visit was what it was. Your last visit was what it was.
Yeah.
When you go back to that hotel, you're getting the same experience you had before. It ain't turning into a house when you go back to a hotel. I'm going to revisit the Holiday Inn. It's going to be the same Holiday Inn it was 2 months ago. It's the same room with the same sink, with the same bed sheet. It's the same TV. It's the same thing. It ain't going to turn into a house. That hotel room is going to stay a hotel room for the duration of the owner. As long as the owner wanted to be a hotel, it's going to be a hotel. It ain't going to turn into no house. You can't add no basement to it.